if you're an athlete and you have a sponsor, don't crap on your sponsor unless you want to lose your sponsor. What's going on, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching Strength Ethics on all social media platforms, powered by IML. Make your mark with IRONMAGLabs.com. So, I want to give a big shout out to, yes, Nick Miller, Nick Strength and Power, on some phenomenal coverage when it comes to this whole fake news controversy, with Rubiel Mosquera, aka Neckzilla, who is now saying that he never said that his sponsor forced him to do the show. And I listened to Nick. Nick gave all the evidence. He even went to somebody to do a Spanish translation, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like really hanging on this force word. And, when Nick gave his, that's the thing, make sure to listen to Nick from beginning to end, because in his commentary, he talked about that and even gave Mosquera some leeway, but very, very good reporting by Nick Strength and Power. And I wanted to give him this kudos because, again, I'm critical of his writing, I'm critical of his videos sometimes, and it's not because I don't like him. Right now he's got me blocked. He's had me blocked for years, and I don't know why he's got me blocked, but the point is I'm going to try to tag him on one of my secondary pages because, he does really good work, and he is basically the gold standard, not kissing ass here. It is what it is. The guy's got over 1 million real subs on YouTube, and he does, spot on work. So you gotta, I don't like kissing ass. I don't like, giving compliments. It's not I just don't do it, but you gotta do it. I mean, he is it. I mean, he works his ass off, and his commentary is spot on. I mean, he took the words right out of my mouth. And, initially I was going to do an Instagram live about it. What the hell am I gonna do an Instagram live about it? He covered all the bases, did a really, really good job. I may write a follow-up article for Iron Magazine, but, Mosquera basically is in a situation where I agree with Nick Miller. Again, not something that I usually agree with, but, and listen, before I make that point, I also like that Nick said to Rubiel directly, who Rubiel's got him blocked, but guys, don't block people. That's a bad look. But he said he's not trying to give him a hard time. He's just trying to help him. He's trying to give him some advice. And a lot of these pro bodybuilders do not like taking advice from YouTubers, even though, Nick Miller is the biggest of the biggest, and he's got 1 million plus, and he probably should listen to him. But a lot of pro bodybuilders do not like taking advice from anyone but their coach or their significant other. But in this case, I do think that Nick Miller is giving Rubiel very, very good advice. And I think that that's very, very important. But what I wanted to say earlier is the fact that, in his commentary, he talks about the fact that the sponsor did not directly force him to do the show, but that kind of forced him, it's a thing of semantics. But the bigger picture here, the bigger point is that Rubiel should not have posted anything against the sponsor. And one piece of advice that I do agree with Nick on, which I don't normally suggest to an athlete to do this because it's even less money in their pocket, but in his case, I do think having a manager would be a good idea, because as Nick pointed out, Rubiel is starting to lose a little bit of that hype. And again, I mean, this is a guy that got invited to the Arnold Classic and has only really done 1 or 2 shows, maybe just 1 show, I don't know. And, everybody is talking about Neckzilla. Everybody wants to know him, about him. Everybody's got him, in their top 10 predictions for the Olympia. I mean, there's a lot of hype behind this guy, but he is losing a little bit of that hype because of his mouth. And again, it's just one of those things where maybe a manager might be good for him. Why am I not so wild about bodybuilders having managers? Only because it's less money in their pocket. A lot of coaches will get a percentage of the win, and then if you've got a manager on top of that, what do you think, they work for free? So I mean, and this is why I also discourage bodybuilders having multiple coaches. Hey, look, it looks great to have a nutritionist, to have a trainer, to have a posing coach, to have an overall coach. Guess what? They all got to get paid. Where does that money come from? The bodybuilder. So again, but in his case, though, in Rubiel's case, I would agree, again, with Nick Miller and his spot-on reporting. I think Rubiel should really consider getting a manager, just because, well, I mean, just look at his work so far, on social media. I would just really run all your posts by somebody. And Rubiel, if you watch this, I'm not calling you stupid, No te estoy diciendo estúpido para nada. O sea, solamente te estoy diciendo que deberías tener a alguien a tu lado que conozca el deporte, que te pueda ayudar a navegar estas aguas un poco para que tengas el éxito mayor. Basically have someone by your side that can help you navigate these waters. They're basically uncharted waters for you. You've never been, on this route before, and have somebody help you maximize this hype behind you and make the most money possible, and avoid you putting your foot in your mouth, as you've been doing quite a bit of. So I just think that, again, Nick Miller did phenomenal reporting, phenomenal. Got to give him kudos, phenomenal reporting. And, again, to reiterate what Nick said, Rubio's not going to be able to get out of this one by saying it's fake news when he himself made these statements, and he himself made these videos, and he himself basically said that a sponsor forced him to compete, and he himself said he didn't feel well. So you can't just say fake news if it's not fake. So it's a good soundbite, yes. It's a great hashtag, yes. But it's not going to save your ass if you actually made the statements, and you made the statements. So in any event, spot on reporting by Nick Strength and Power. Rubio, please consider getting a manager. And thanks for watching Strength Addicts on all social media platforms, powered by IRONMAG Labs. Make your mark with IML. Visit ironmaglabs.com today.